I first was able to say that, okay, I'm against the Iraq war. Well, what does that mean? More questions arise. Well, what are the real reasons that I was sent there for? Why do I feel this level of betrayal, unlike anything I've experienced in my life? Why are we still there if, in fact, the reasons were weapons of mass destruction, or to get rid of Saddam Hussein and establish a civil society of democratic nature for these people? I mean, all these questions keep arising, and certainly you can get some answers, but more questions just keep coming. And so I've come to the conclusion that essentially that our country is on a race to the bottom. There's all these sort of antagonist forces in nation states that have strong military, strong economies, that are vying for the last remaining availability to secure resources and mechanisms needed to maintain military and economic might. And with all of these forces kind of playing and nudging at each other, it's becoming more and more barbaric, the level at which a nation state will go to accomplish those means to maintain that pinnacle of dominance.
Few Americans realize this, but we have over 1,000 military bases in 153 countries spread out throughout the world. That's a lot of military bases, and this eventually takes its toll. I mean, here in Vermont, we've got the Champlain Bridge across the lake that's closed, in no small part because the state of New York didn't have the money for infrastructure to maintain the stupid bridge. But we can spend $680 billion on military defense, but can't pull together some pontoons so people who need to commute across the lake can do so. I think it's actually a kind of glaring example of the essence of the consequences of the empire.
Budget for the Department of Defense just blows my mind. Where can all that money actually be spent and go? And that even in this time of economic crisis, when people are scrambling just to get the budgets for their schools by, or figuring out if they're going to be able to have health care, it's not even on the table to talk about cutting some of the military budget. Not even discussed. Not even in editorials are people like, well, wait a minute. What if we took 20% of our military budget for the year? We could pay off all this stuff. We have public infrastructure updates, and we have all this new environmental reclamation on hand, and wetland rebuilding, and clean water for more children, and good food in the cafeterias, and books that they can actually read that weren't written in the 1960s, paint that's not lead infested. I mean, so it's sad. It really points to how far we have to go.